you beautiful readers, you. It's Caelyn Shaner, and this is Obsessive Immersive Disorder. So I'm a member of the Book of the Month Club, and recently in the mail, what I chose to order from them was The Silence of the Girls by Pat Barker. And having just come off of my high from reading Circe by Madeline Miller, I thought something based on an epic Greek myth would be perfect, and so I anticipated heavily it arriving at my door, and it did. And unfortunately, like last week's video, I came to the conclusion that it wasn't my favorite novel ever, it wasn't perfect, but Pat Barker did do a pretty good job of portraying what it would have really been like for a woman as a spoil of war at that time, having been taken from her home and her family because her city had been sacked. I had some issues with the characters over the course of the novel and the arc that they were portrayed to have, but in general it was a well-written book and a new take on an old fable, an old story, and I read it cover to cover. It didn't lose my interest, so while it wasn't my new favorite novel ever in the history of the universe, it was certainly enjoyable enough that I finished the book. So if you're here checking out my channel, you're probably searching for more information on this book because you liked it. Therefore, I am going to share some of my favorite goodies with you. As far as trinkets and home decor and that kind of thing, you're going to find a lot of the helmet. The Spartan helmet, the Achilles helmet. There are several adorable keychains that fit this motif. An actual helmet that is a little farther out of the price range than I would have preferred to share on my channel, but is definitely cool. A wall decal that again is the helmet that Achilles would have worn in the war, or is depicted as having worn in the war. And a very classic piece of pottery. A lot like one of the ones I shared for my Circe video, a lot like something you would find in the Hercules movie. It's very cool looking and historical looking and just matches that time period. Another trinket you all might enjoy is this water bottle that also comes as a travel mug. I assume it was created with the intent of carrying alcohol given the script that is on it, but it certainly looks like a water bottle and or coffee travel mug. But it says, "I love Briseis as much as I love beer." And then last on the trinkets list, we have the candles, which I'm a huge fan of. There's several different candle makers in this vein that design candles based on your favorite character, your favorite scene, your favorite novel, your favorite author. That is just such a cool idea, and I'm such a big fan of. So I found two that you can find here, link in the descriptions below. One is the Warrior Achilles, which looks like it has more of a fig and pomegranate scent, which is very fitting for this time period and this story, these countries, and goes along with Achilles as this practical god of war, this demigod of heroism and proclivity for war and victories and such. And then you have this candle, that's designed around Achilles and Patroclus, which was his best friend and rumored to have also been his lover, which is nice as another side to his character as not just this war hero, but as an actual human being with feelings and human attachment, and who really had someone that he cared about that deeply. Even if it wasn't our main character in this novel, Briseis, he had someone that he could be close to, and Patroclus was even depicted in this novel especially as a close friend of Briseis. So an all-around good guy, and a gem of a human being that he could befriend both the warlord and his sex slave. If that is not the mark of a good human being, I don't know what is. Diving into the fan art section this week, most of the beautiful characters I found for you, especially on DeviantArt this week, are of Helen of Troy, who is depicted in this novel, and is definitely a character and obviously a major player in this war, but is not the main point of view for the novel. But as she is one of the most famous characters in this legend, she was all over DeviantArt, all over the internet, and there were a few images that were just too beautiful for me not to share with you guys. In that vein, there were also several depictions of the war itself, of major battles, with Achilles standing tall, murdering his enemies, and were just excellent depictions of him as a warlord, as a formidable character, and honestly the artwork was just so good I had to show it to you guys. And then there is Briseis, who is the main character and the point of view of Pat Barker's novel, and is drawn somewhere in between, where her inspiration is very obviously drawn straight from the movie Troy with Brad Pitt, and she looks just like the actress who portrayed her, which is not exactly in keeping with the novel, because the novel is from Briseis' point of view, whereas the movie is more of Achilles' point of view and painting him in a heroic light, as opposed to being more realistic. But these pictures tend to show both Pat Barker's interpretation of the character and Hollywood's, and all around they're just lovely overall, so I thought I would share them with you guys. I found one quote-unquote Trojan recipe to share with you guys, pictured here, link in the description below, and then also an alcoholic beverage, which who doesn't love to get their drank on? It is called a Trojan horse, and if you click the link below, then you will be able to learn how to make this fun-looking drink and have a good time while also paying historical homage. If you want some actual regal dresses that really display that Greek, romantic, beautiful style that they would have worn back then, check out my Circe video, because there's a lot of those there. Really here, I was just looking for a few things here and there that reflected the time period. Overall though, because she was a slave, I don't think she would have worn nice things that fans would be dying to wear. Probably mostly just rags or nothing when she was in the company of Achilles. You know what I mean. So I found a few pieces of jewelry, and that's about it for you in this week's video. Are these gorgeous earrings with this Trojan Greek historic sort of script on them. They're gold and just really beautiful. And then this matching bracelet, which could be for a guy or a girl, so if there's any guys that like my channel or are watching this video, this bracer is totally something that you could buy if you liked this novel. And then there's this sort of removable tattoo bracelet, arm bracer sort of thing that is maybe overpriced in my opinion, but it definitely looks cool, and if you want to shell out the dough, then it looks like a piece of jewelry that they would have worn in this time period, especially when Briseis was depicted as being a queen and was in the position to wear beautiful, regal articles of clothing. And last for you guys, I did find a playlist on YouTube this week. I did not have to make my own like I did last week with Spinning Silver, and it is filled with war music and epic music and music that just sounds like something that would come out of a Greek tragedy or be inspired by it overall. So I hope you enjoy this one. This one has a lot of music on it, more so than my videos in the past. So go check that out. And I hope that if you really love this novel, you have found a new world of merch and music and fan art to immerse yourselves in as a super fan. I will see you next week with a new video. My love to all of you. Have a good week, guys. If you like my channel and like my videos, hit the subscribe button below, like my video, and I will see you all next week with a new book. Bye!